Hey there, it's coach, speaker, and brilliance catalyst Tai Goodwin, and I just want to share from my heart to yours. I've been going through a lot of changes and transitions and a really big shift over the last year. And from talking to a lot of other brilliant women, I know that there are other people out there that are making the same kinds of shifts. So I wanted to share a little message about 3 things to keep in mind when you're making a shift in your personal life, in your career, in your business, because it's not easy changing. People avoid change. People spend their whole lives, avoiding change because change can be hard. But if you're called to do something bigger, if you've got a bigger vision, and you have to accept that there are just some things you're going to have to work through, or as I like to say, grow through. One of the things to remember when you're making a big shift is that you're going to have to make a decision every day to stay focused on where you're supposed to be. I don't know if this has ever happened to you, but there have been times when I have these fantastic, amazing times in meditation and prayer, or even in journal writing, and I've gotten this great vision about something, and I get so excited about it. But it would be so different from the current path that I was on that I would kind of let it wane, right? Because you get all excited about this vision and you get all excited about something, that you see, and then you get back to the real world and somebody says, well, in my case, they would say, oh, I need you to build me a WordPress blog, or I want you to help me with my social media. And so I'd get busy doing that tangible thing and I'd leave off that vision that was less tangible, a lot more work, but man, did it have a lot of passion attached to it. I have to make a decision every day to stay focused on what I've been called to do. Likely you're going to have that experience too, where you get a vision of what you could do and where you're supposed to be, but then your daily life and all the things that you are doing in your regular day kind of conflict with that, or it doesn't lead you to the same path. And so you start to believe that, well, maybe that calling that you heard, maybe that nudge in your spirit, that wasn't real, right? Or it's for another time. And I'm here to share with you that, no, it's for now. And you have to continue to make a decision every day that you're going to pursue your purpose, you're going to work your passion, and that you're going to focus on the thing that you've been called to do. So number 2, the thing you want to remember when you're making a big shift is that it's okay to be disappointed. I think people get frustrated with change because they think they're supposed to be happy throughout the whole phase of a change. And in reality, you're going to have some grief. You're going to have some loss. If you've spent 10 years or 15 years as a chemical engineer or as a lawyer, and now you find out you want to be this great life coach, or you have this fantastic message that you want to deliver, you are going to experience loss, especially if you've built up a career in something else. I know what that's like. I spent about 18 to 20 years in education and learning and development. And even though I still get to do a little bit of that now, I'm focused totally on something that's, more in line with my passion and my purpose, but something that's totally out of that element. And I had to go through a little bit of a grieving process. I had to let go of some things, had to be willing to let go of some titles and some accolades and some things that I was used to being validated for, so that I could step into what was next and what is now in my life. If you're facing that same struggle, it's okay to feel disappointed. Your transition, your transformation, your shift, it isn't always going to make you feel happy as you take steps and bigger steps towards your purpose and your passion. You're going to have to learn to be okay with feeling that disappointment of letting things go from the past and accepting that as part of the natural process of stepping onto the path that you are purposed to be on. The third thing is this: we spend a lot of time in our own heads with our brands, with our image, with who we think we are. And so sometimes when we're called to make a shift into something new, we think, oh my goodness, what is everybody going to say? Or so-and-so is going to be disappointed, or they're not going to understand. Right? Or in my case, that voice would always sound like, well, who do you think you are, to go off and do something different? It might sound different for you, but the point is this: other people don't spend nearly as much time thinking about you and your transitions as you do. So get over yourself. Here's what's going to happen in reality. Of course, you're going to have some haters. You're going to have those people who, are always going to say, yeah, the who do you think you are kind of people, and why can't you be satisfied, and oh my gosh, I can't believe you're changing this again. You're going to have those people, but guess what? They're not part of your audience. They're not who you were called to serve, so it's okay. The other 2 groups of people, the people that you've been called to serve and the people that know you and who've sown into you and who have spent time with you, they're going to breathe a sigh of relief because they know that you are finally being positioned in exactly the place you're supposed to be. They're going to be like, what took you so long? We're so glad you decided to show up and be you. Exactly who we knew you were supposed to be and exactly who we were waiting for. I think of it this way. I could have spent a whole lot of time in Facebook and marketing and social media being really good at that stuff, but I would have missed this opportunity to share this message with you. Those of you who are waiting for these words, those of you who needed to hear this today, those of you who stumble across this video or find my blog and this was a message that spoke directly to your heart. See, if I hadn't stepped onto this path, if I hadn't been willing to go through this transformation and through this shift myself, I would have never been in a position to help light the path for you. And it's going to be the same thing with your audience. You've got to be willing to take those steps so you can light the path for the people that are supposed to follow you. So those are the 3 things I want you to remember, that you're going to feel some disappointment sometimes. You have to let go of things, and that's natural. The other thing to remember is that other people aren't really spending that much time thinking about all the stuff that you're doing. They've got their own stuff going on. So go ahead and make those changes and those shifts. And remember, you're going to make that decision every day to stay focused on what you've been called to do. So you can focus on the people that you've been called to serve with your message, with your business, with your life, with your vision. This is Tai Goodwin, encouraging you to step out into the world as a called and confident messenger. Until next time, live on purpose, work your passion, speak your truth, and bring your brilliance. I'll see you online. Bye.